Well, hello everyone. It's Drew Nicholas here, and it is my second solo show because Mr. JPJ, unfortunately, was out today. Got called into work, as is life. These are things that happen. Um, it's been a little while since I've done a solo show, about a couple months. Hello, Sandy. This is for you. Of course, I'm thinking of you all the time. Yeet. Um, hello to Zach as well. We will be starting shortly on previewing Saturday night's main event first. I'm gonna do that first, and then I will be doing AEW Double or Nothing. Um, Sandy, I sound good, right? Audio's good. Just give me a quick check because I'm doing this by myself and I can't hear myself. So I've got to rely on the chat on these solo shows. Okay, good. Thank you. So, um, it's usually JPJ and I will banter for a little bit, but I also have things to do today. So I'm just gonna get right into previewing. Yeah, yes, you are our unofficial producer, Sandy. Thank you very much. Um, if you notice, before we get into the preview, since we started firmly WWE back last August, this little red background next to me here used to be what you used to see behind me, but I've since changed up my bedroom slash office setup a little bit, and I have now been able to finally bring back my display case of wrestling things, mostly wrestling things. You notice right there. That's that's not wrestling related. That's Star Wars related. Mandalorian specifically. The Child. I uh I have had all that stuff hidden away in a drawer and in my closet. It's the if for people who maybe knew that maybe weren't around pre-firmly WWE. Um that's my of course my my number one tribal chief, the blue universal championship right up there. Eventually, I'm gonna get the Roman Reigns side plates. Eventually. And then, of course, I have the TNT Championship, AEW. And then I've got the only NXT, sorry, Sandy, the only NXT that I happen to enjoy in NXT's existence, Black and Gold. That's the Black and Gold title right there. Um, but I'm still, I support you, Sandy. I understand you love NXT. That's fine. Um, and then I've got up here are a couple of newer additions to the Oh, hello. The Hive, aka Josh Robinson, is in the chat. Nice to see you, my friend. I well, I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, but I'll have to check with my husband. Um, yeah, so my newer addition to the the display case, well, it was never in the display case. Two things up here. One, the final boss pop figure, the vinyl pop figure, and then the acclaimed and well, I mean, of course, obviously, you can't see it very well, it's kinda blocked. I might have to do something about that. That is my acclaimed, box set of all both the whole acclaimed group, Billy Gunn and Anthony Bowens and Max Caster. And, I might, maybe one of these days, I'll do a little, opening and whatnot. I know people like doing that and seeing that type of content. So, um maybe I'll do that one day. I've got in this box, I've got an Oscar bobblehead, and that's a funny story. I did not purchase that. The non-wrestling fan in this household purchased that, and he loves Oscar. He got a shirt also. No one is ready for Oscar shirt. I was shocked. I thought he bought it for me at first, and he's like, "No, I saw this," and he saw it in an ad on Facebook. And he's like, "Oh, I'm buying this. I really like this a lot." So, I was like, "Okay." So, I have my Oscar bobblehead right back there, and I've got, these 3 gentlemen who were together as a group the last time you may have seen them in my background. Those are the New Day pop figures. Unfortunately, well, we all know what happened there. Um, and down here, the last box. This is my MJF box. This is the box of an MJF action figure, and back when, um, Kalen and Kalen Pickles had the special MJF, jars of pickles, the sweet pickles and the dill pickles, I'm a mark. So, I bought them, and, there they are. So oh, and I have a Sammy Guevara, uh, signed action figure up there as well. So so there you go. There's the display case so far. You notice there's 2 empty boxes down here. Um, that's because my cats like to be annoying. So I'm leaving those boxes empty for them so that this way they don't hopefully go up there. I know that's wishful thinking. But anyway, so yeah, there is an addition as well to this display case that will be coming at some point. I ordered on pre-order the newest Mercedes Monet AEW figure. Really, really beautiful detail. I do not know when it's coming, but knowing AEW pre-orders, it's usually about a 3 to 4 month, I want to say, window. And you can still go on AEW, not not an advertisement, but you can still go on Shop AEW and get one if you so choose. It's really beautiful, honestly. I would highly recommend it if you want to go and check that out. Yes, I will. Well, you know what? Let's address that first. On Raw, because I'm going to be talking about Saturday Night's main event first anyway. Um, Before we do that, please, everybody who's here, drop a like. Hit the like button for your boy here, and for Love Wrestling, of course. And subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. I am on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, my Twitter account, right now. Hello to my Twitter account, everybody who's there. Um, Please come on over to YouTube, subscribe to Love Wrestling, subscribe to the Twitch as well. Um, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool people here. And as you, if you may or may not know, if you're new, right down here, you see LPW 37, Love Pro Wrestling, our wrestling promotion that Spencer Love runs out of Calgary, in I believe Edmonton, California. Not California. Goodness gracious! I said CA. I see CA and I think of California. That's not California. It's Calgary in Canada. So check out LPW. Really awesome stuff. A lot of cool wrestlers, and yeah. So um yeah, I know, Sandy. Uh, in the States here, CA is California, so sometimes I get mixed up. But my apologies to the Love Wrestling crew for that. So, yeah, and if you'd like to, also, if you would like to leave a super chat, the money helps support Love Wrestling, support us. Um, that's of course up to you if you'd like to do that. But I will pull up your comment. I will spend some time on it if it's a question or a comment that you want me to spend time on. Um, so thank you. Thank you very much for being here. And let's get into quickly. So yeah, Sandy brought up Zoe Stark. There was a triple threat match um, on Raw between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Zoe Stark for the Money in the Bank contention. And very quickly into the match, unfortunately, Zoe Stark seemed to have re-injured the knee, which I believe she had had surgery on that she was out for a while. Um, I hope that she recovers well. I don't really, I'm not aware of everything yet. You know, all the stories and news coming out of that. Um, so I wish her, everybody here at Love Wrestling, of course, I'm sure I speak for everybody. We wish her a speedy recovery. Hopefully, everything is not too bad to where she can be back in a timely fashion, because she was just out for a little bit for surgery not too long ago. Because that was I saw that that was the knee that she had surgery on prior, so that's really unfortunate, and we hope the best for Zoe. Um, Hi, Scott. Nice to see you. Um, there was something else I wanted to talk about too before we get. Oh yes, that's right. I have the tab open, so I should go to it and say, okay. So, congratulations to Damian Priest, who got on the Bronx Walk of Fame in the Bronx here in New York. He got his own street sign. That's really cool. Says Luis Damian Priest, WWE superstar. Uh, it says 2025, so I'm assuming the class of 2025. That was really nice. He has a picture. He went to the Yankee game, which they won, which was nice. I'm a Yankee fan, to the behest of my partner on this show, usually Yankee fan. And yes, I do live in New York. I live in Brooklyn. Um, and it's very nice. Good for Damian Priest. He has a picture at the Yankee game, and also with his pal Bad Bunny. Wonderful, wonderful wrestler as well. Hopefully he comes back soon. Good morning, Spencer. Lovely to see you. Thanks for being here. Um, I could, yes, Sandy, I could go to his sign. I'm gonna look into it and see where it is posted. I did not see where. Um, I believe, well, it says he does have the Grand Concourse hashtag, so I believe it is in that area. So I will see where that sign is. I do make trips to the Bronx occasionally. So yeah, I could get a selfie with that sign. That would be cool. That's a good idea. So congratulations to Damian Priest as well. So now what we are going to do is we are going to preview um Saturday night's main event first, and then we will get into AEW Double or Nothing. Um, as of now, there are 4 matches advertised for Saturday night's main event on Saturday, May 24th. Um, we have hopefully, and now I'm assuming, of course, SmackDown is tomorrow, so I'm guessing there will be a women's match announced because all 4 matches so far are men's matches, and I mean, you could say it's split between SmackDown and Raw, but Cena and Truth, I know technically Cena's title is like the SmackDown title, but Cena's on every show. So it doesn't really feel like a SmackDown title because even when Cody was the champion, he was kind of on every show also. So it's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly. Obviously, it was a SmackDown title, but doesn't feel like it these days. So anyway, let's start, and I'm going to do something cool that I just decided last night. Um, Hello, Fernando. Nice to see you. I wasn't on the comments tab, but I saw the one pop up. So nice to see you, Fernando. It is just me solo today. Um, and if somebody wakes up later on, maybe I'll bring him onto the show from my other podcast, Roundtable Pro Wrestling Podcast. Um, we shall see if he wakes up, and then I'll give him the link and he can join. Wonderful, wonderful person he is. Sunday Sinner, the thorn in my side. If you've been in the chats, but he's not a thorn in my side. That's a joke. He's a wonderful person, actually. Um, but anyway, so what you typically see from other people is like, oh, they'll just like throw up an image and then take it away really quickly and then start talking about the show. But what we're going to do here is I am going to put myself on the side and we're going to throw up these images. So, the first one that I'd like to talk about, he's on my shirt. Saturday night's main event, we've got the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso, the champion of all champions, the beautiful man, Jey Uso, taking on, I've got to say his name because he's unfortunately showed right there. Actually, let me get rid of really quickly. Let me get rid of the banner so that this way we can. Where is that? I forgot. No, here we go. There we go. So, um, live on NBC and Peacock, of course. Um, Jey Uso is facing Logan Paul. Now, I JPJ, he likes to say that I'm always negative, and which can be true at times. I can be negative at times, not always. A little bit of an exaggeration. Um, Logan Paul is a good wrestler. I get it. As of late, his promos have fallen off. I think he was doing pretty good in the beginning, right when he turned heel and was going after United States Championship. Um, I've just not been interested at all, honestly. And you know, he is a WWE wrestler, so I do have to talk about him when he's, uh when he's on screen, so, yeah, cool. Um, Jey Uso's gonna win. Moving on. So, the next match I wanna talk about, and I just mentioned him as well, Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a steel cage. That's gonna be interesting because, steel cage match on a Saturday night's main event. These 2 have had a hell of a rivalry, and I'm expecting Drew McIntyre to win, but I don't know, honestly, this could go either way. So, everybody in the chat, let me know what you think, who you think is gonna win. Uh, what else we got? We've got oh, wait, um, Damien, yeah, so maybe. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um, see, we got 2 Drews and a Damien so far. Um, it would be nice to see Damien win, honestly, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um, the next match had a hot feud on Raw right now. That is the new group of Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker taking on CM Punk and Sami Zayn. So that's gonna be really fun. Um, we've had a lot of back and forth with these gentlemen, and of course, 2 of them were in night 1's main event of WrestleMania. Sami Zayn and CM Punk, a very interesting group. So chat, tell me what you think. I think the heels are winning, personally. Uh, feels like it's not the time for Seth and Braun to be losing yet. So, 3 priests. Beth, hello, Beth. Nice to see you. I don't believe I've seen you on our chats before. Um, let me know what you meant by that because I didn't get that, but let me know. Welcome and thanks for being here. Um, Sandy says Seth and Braun. Yes, I definitely agree, Sandy. I do think that this is uh so that is an interesting thing that you just brought up, Scott, because um Sammy could turn on Punk here, is what Scott says in the chat. And I have seen we have seen that they kind of teased a Sammy heel turn on the Raw after WrestleMania when he came to celebrate with Jay. Um, that was a legitimately scary moment. But uh, will a third man join? I don't think yet. I don't know if maybe. So JPJ had actually said that he thought maybe Sami Zayn would. Was it JPJ? Uh-oh. I'm not remembering now if it was JPJ that said this. But I'm gonna just say JPJ said it. Could be right or wrong. He's not here to refute it. So, uh, um, Sammy potentially joining with this new Dangerous Alliance. Thank you, Fernando. That was the name I couldn't remember. Um, it is possible. I just don't know what that leads to for um, Sammy in that current state in that stable because you'd think if Sammy was turning heel, then maybe he'd go after Jay, but Gunther is gonna be potentially going after Jay. Probably it's gonna be Jay. Logan Paul's not winning the World Heavyweight Championship. Uh, so we're gonna see Gunther again. And with the promo that they had on Raw, it kinda looked like to me, it kinda looked like they're trying out some babyface stuff with Gunther, which very interesting because I didn't think I'd ever see him as a babyface. But oh, okay, Beth. Yes. Um I'm personally hoping for that. I hope Damian wins, but I have a feeling Drew might get the victory here. Um, but we'll see. Um, Sandy also brought in what I think could potentially happen, and I I would like to see the man Becky Lynch in this new dangerous alliance. Of course, she is married to Seth Rollins. Um, and I think that having a woman and for Becky to be the first official Paul Heyman girl, I think that would be really, really cool. What they've been doing, her and Lyra Valkyria with the Women's Intercontinental Championship, has been phenomenal. Really been phenomenal. At some point, Becky may actually end up winning the IC title, and I think that would bring some prestige to this group. Eventually, I'm assuming maybe by, SummerSlam, I believe yeah, Scott said, um, Seth will be winning the World Heavyweight Championship, I'm assuming. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Um, I am picking for, like I said, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins to win this match on Saturday. Now, the last match that has been advertised and seemingly not at this moment at least, we still have Friday. As of this moment, not for the Undisputed Championship. We have R-Truth versus John Cena. Now, I said a while ago, a couple weeks ago, that what I believe is gonna happen is that, John Cena holds the championship probably until SummerSlam. Uh, I don't know if CM Punk is his I would feel like CM Punk would be the worthy, um, opponent for Cena for SummerSlam. It's gonna be a big time SummerSlam this year, the first ever two-night. So, uh, R-Truth is whether this becomes for a title or not, I don't expect R-Truth to win. Sandy thinks Truth wins. We'll see if that happens. Um, Now, Scott, I can see Cody coming back and costing Cena here if this is non-title, which is as of right now, I'm assuming it is a non-title match. So, yeah, that's right. Sandy's saying it too. Um, I said a couple weeks ago, it's kind of a hot take. I'll repeat it again. I have kind of been over the R-Truth stupid guy gimmick for a while now. I like R-Truth, don't get me wrong. I in no way mean that I do not like R-Truth. Absolutely, I like R-Truth. But I think that what he is capable of, aside from the stupid guy character, I think is, he's a veteran. He's a legitimate veteran. And not a lot of people think about this. You know, R-Truth was in WCW. That's how long R-Truth has been wrestling for. Okay, he'd been wrestling, he is the student out of this teacher-student matchup, uh, which I find funny. That I find funny. The whole, his, his love of John Cena and, he wants to grow up to be John Cena. I like that stuff. I think that's funny. Um, oh, JPJ, hello. Oh, so you were the one that said Sammy joined Seth at some point. Okay, I figured. Um, it's nice to, our truth was our pal Spencer says, "Our truth was wrestling before Roxanne Perez was born." Our truth was wrestling before John Cena was wrestling. Crazy. It's crazy to think that. Absolutely crazy. Um, but I would like to see, and on, last Friday, Truth did do a sit down with Wade Barrett, and, um, seemed to, I'm seeing, like, a bit more of a serious side, and I like that. Like, I feel honestly, R Truth, uh, his like, "Oh, I'm the silly, crazy, stupid guy" thing, um, which has been going on for over 10 years now. 10 years, the same gimmick. 10 years. That's a long time. Um, R-Truth started in 1999, Roxanne Perez was born in 2001. That's crazy. Um, I think that this gimmick with R-Truth peaked at the 24/7 championship title reign. Um, it's, uh, it's had its ups for sure. It was very funny. He was very funny, when the 24/7 title was around. Um, there was also I remember there was this one time, and this is how long ago this was. The, yes, oh, yes, that's right. The hot tag in the Royal Rumble, that was very funny. I enjoyed that. Um, I also enjoyed when he brought a ladder down to the ring for a Royal Rumble, and I think there was another moment too, and the reason why I remember because it was 10 years ago is because, Kane was doing Corporate Kane at that time, and there was just a funny moment with him and R-Truth. I don't remember the exact thing, but I do remember, Corporate Kane, like, doing a comedy thing with him. So, if the chat remembers, please let me know. Um, yeah, Scott, he's kept his job. He's I like him. I genuinely like him. Um, I would like to see something different. That's all. Whether he I mean he wouldn't turn heel at this point, but oh, I mean, hey, the guy on the left finally turned heel. So who knows? Um I'm expecting, of course, John Cena to win this match. Uh some we saw Scott said that Cody could come and cost Cena. That is possible because it is a non-title match. Anything is possible when it's a non-title match. Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens here. I think that we will have a pretty decent Saturday night's main event. I'm not like that excited for it, but there should be some good stuff. And Sandy's little Jimmy interferes. That would be funny. I don't know how little Jimmy would interfere. Maybe in the form of Jimmy Uso, Big Jim. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Um, the Oh yeah, that's right. He was also recently a tag team champion with The Miz. I actually forgot about that. Thank you, Fernando, for reminding me. Yeah. Good morning, Dan. Nice to see you. I just previewed Saturday night's main event. So, really quickly, I will go through my picks one more time for Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. 4 letters, 1 word, yeet. Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre. I am picking Drew McIntyre. I hope Damian Priest pulls off the victory, though. For Sami Zayn and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, I am picking Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, the new Dangerous Alliance. And for R-Truth versus John Cena, I am picking John Cena. And yes, Sandy, NXT Battleground is on Sunday. I will not be watching that. Sorry. Um, but I am sure it will be a fun show. Just it's just not in my plans. I've already got 2 wrestling shows to watch. I've gotta watch this show, and I've gotta watch Double or Nothing. Battleground is just not gonna happen, my friend. I'm sorry. It's just not gonna happen. But I hope you enjoy it. Maybe JPJ will watch it. He'll talk about it with you. Uh Oh, Dan, you think Jay is gonna win with the assistance of Karrion Kross? Oh, that's right. Because the last time Karrion Kross was on TV with AJ Styles, AJ did say, "Oh, maybe you should take care of it on your own." So that's interesting. I did not I'm glad you said that. I completely forgot about that. Maybe maybe we maybe we see a Karrion Kross appearance there. Ah, I like that, Dan. Okay. Hopefully. I mean, I would love to see, Karrion Kross back because, apparently he's like a bestseller on WWE Shop right now, and he's been just exceptional. He's been exceptional in the last few months. So, um, maybe that's a good shout, Dan. I did not think about that. So right, yes, he's been getting huge pops on Main Event, so Saturday night Main Event, it could be possible. That was a good shout, Dan. Um, all right, so that is the WWE portion of the show. Uh, there we go. Um, yeah, so that was WWE portion, and in the chat, if you are still, am I freezing, or is it just my computer being weird? Let me know if I'm freezing because I don't want to. I don't want something to happen here. That would suck. I'm alone, so that would suck. But yeah. So really quickly, you notice on the bottom there, I do this since we switched to oh, I was lagging. Okay, I figured because my computer froze for a second or like 2 seconds. So all right, but we're good now. My birthday is on Friday, tomorrow. I'm gonna be 34 years old, which I know is not old. I know it's not old. I know there are people that are older than me. Uh, but it is weird. It's weird to look at your life sometimes. And I share a birthday with the late great Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt's birthday also on May 23rd. Today is my goat Brian Danielson's birthday. Happy birthday, Brian Danielson. Um, and yeah, sometimes you take a look at life and of now Fernando, I don't know if you're saying I don't know if you're saying you thought I was 27 or if you thought Sandy was 27. But I'm just gonna assume that you meant that you thought that I was 27, which I'm flattered, Fernando. Thank you very much. Um, JPJ just turned 40 a few weeks ago. Uh, I'm not there yet, and a 40 is not even an old age either. Like, he's playing it up like, "Oh, I'm an old man now." He's not. He's not an old man. Um, Sometimes I feel like I'm older than him, funny enough. But, yeah, so I'm gonna be 34, and, um, I don't know if I'll be going out, celebrating. I don't know. Everything's expensive these days, and I am taking, a trip down to Florida later on this year that I'm be saving money for, so I feel like I just wanna save for that. Um, so yeah, uh, just a quick putting myself over segment that I didn't mean for it to come off that way if it did, but I've just, it's our, oh, Spencer. Yeah, you're 33 also. I forgot that you were 33. Yeah, it's been crazy. Thank you, Beth. Thank you. Um, Less than 24 hours away. Uh, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. So, uh, middle. No, 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 no. We we are at the third point of our lives, sir. We are not at the midpoint yet. We are not at the midpoint yet. So, uh, let's get into AEW Double or Nothing, shall we? Now, for AEW Double or Nothing, there have been one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches announced already. Double or Nothing is on Sunday, the 25th, and we of course have a collision, AEW Collision before that. That's going to be tonight instead of the usual Saturday slot. Personally, I do kind of wish that Collision moved to Thursdays. I feel like that would just be better. I don't know if it clashes with any TNT programming because they do sports. They do some sports on there. I don't know if we see anything on Thursday nights for TNT. I'm not on TNT very often. But yes, I know it is. It is counter booking between two beards. Technically, I get that. Okay, so it doesn't have to be Thursday. It could be. I don't know. Well, they're not going to want to compete with NXT again, so it's not going to be on Tuesday, and it's not going to be on Sunday, or it's not going to be on Monday. That's for sure. Although it would be interesting to have a wrestling show on cable on Mondays again to see if maybe that did some sort of numbers, even though you know Raw does still get decent viewership, but uh, I feel like they're missing out on some. Dan says hashtag Thursday Night Wars, hashtag Meltzer rated B2B 5 stars. B2B is 5 stars. Excellent show. I kinda took over the superstation of Between Two Beards once, but, don't tell JPJ that I acknowledged that it was me. So, Double or Nothing is on Sunday, and 7 matches have been announced. I'm sure we will get another match or 2 or 3 announced before then, because that's what happens. But let's get to it. Let's get to Double or Nothing, and the first match that we're going to talk about here is for the AEW Women's Championship. Timeless Tony Storm versus Mina Shirakawa, newly signed to AEW. Mina Shirakawa, congratulations to her. This it's interesting, talking about this one because obviously there's kind of like an elephant in the room type of situation. There's one person who links these two that hasn't been on TV for a while, and that's, of course, Mariah May. Now, Mariah May and Mina Shirakawa, tag team in Stardom, very good friends. When Mina came over to AEW last year and was with before feuding with Mariah for the women's championship, there was a bunch of segments between the three women, and it's kind of weird now talking about just the two of them without the woman that links the two of them, because Mariah hasn't even been mentioned on commentary. It's it's just strange. I think I remember like a week or two ago, I don't know if it was Excalibur or Ian Riccaboni said, what is it? Like I'm paraphrasing, and I believe I said it on the show too. Um, they said something to the effect of they shared tag team partners. So it's like, okay, we're not mentioning Mariah by name, doing that little like mentioning her without mentioning her type of a thing. So I don't know what that means for Mariah. Mariah has been posting pictures of herself on Twitter lately with the AEW Women's World Championship. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's just her trying to gain leverage in a bidding war for her. I don't know if that means that she's already signed with or re-signed with AEW and they're keeping it quiet. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So hopefully we find out soon. Hello, Maria. Good morning. Nice to see you. Beth was saying, I wish AEW was on Peacock for the simple reason my cable company dropped pay-per-views. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Um, or Tubi or Pluto. That's oh, you know what? I'm glad that you mentioned that because there's something that I want to talk about really quickly before I get to who is my pick for who's going to win this match. Something very strange about not finding out that Double or Nothing is not on Triller TV 4 days before Double or Nothing. Why? Number 1, why? Why would you, like, not advertise this weeks in advance? That's a little strange. This is a major show, and you're gonna want people to know where you can watch your major pay-per-view. And Bleacher Report, before it was Trill they moved to Triller, Bleacher Report, Triller, that's been the place for AEW pay-per-views since the beginning of AEW. Bleacher Report first, and then when it moved to Triller. How do you not say something? That's wild. To find out yesterday morning from wrestling news sites, from Sean Rossap, bleh, from PW Insider, that's how we're finding out that Double or Nothing is on Triller TV? How has AEW not put out a press release or said anything about this not being on Triller? I know it's gonna be on Amazon Prime, I believe. It's gonna be on YouTube. I don't believe YouTube for the United States. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. I don't believe YouTube for the United States, but that's just weird, man. I don't get that at all. Like, how do you not yeah. Internationally, if you have NordVPN, you can, of course, get it on Triller, and depending on where you put your location, at a discounted price. But, or any VPN, not just NordVPN, but any VPN. But, I'm just very confused. I was actually I was stunned yesterday when I had to find out from wrestling news sites that Double or Nothing is not on Triller. We gotta be better with this stuff. We gotta be better. 'Cause I don't know how I'm watching the show now. I don't have Amazon Prime. I'm maybe one of the few people that don't. I don't have Amazon Prime, so I'm not watching it on Amazon Prime. And now that it's not on Triller, if it's not on YouTube, I just don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Now I know Triller's been having some financial issues as of late, so it's not like it's out of nowhere. It's not like it's a surprise that it's not on Triller for the fact that AEW has just always been on Triller, but or Triller/Bleacher Report in the beginning, but it's very strange. It's very strange that, like, Tony Khan hasn't mentioned it. There hasn't been no AEW press release. "Oh, by the way, no Triller this time." And now, of course, now because you can't buy it on Triller, you no longer have Double or Nothing. You don't have your consistent pay-per-view library that you've bought. So, you get, Double or Nothing on Amazon Prime, YouTube, somewhere else. If you've been buying all your pay-per-views from Bleacher Report/Triller, now you're out of order. Now are they ever gonna be on Triller again? I don't know. So, I it's an unfortunate situation, and I hope that they figure this out, because eventually, what would be nice, since they're starting to put the pay-per-views and the older TV shows up there, let's just move to HBO Max. Why are we not on HBO Max already? They already do live programming. AEW is already on there live every week for Collision and Dynamite. So why aren't the pay-per-views there? Also, that just it just seems like the logical step forward. So I don't know. I'm not in charge. AEW doesn't pay me to figure out issues. I'm just a guy that's a fan that is confused. So, um, now I'm gonna buy Double or Nothing somewhere else, and it's not gonna be with all the other pay-per-views that I've bought already on Triller. So that's upsetting, and hopefully this just means that by maybe All In, Forbidden Door time, they're on Max, which is which should be their home. It should be their home. So I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully that gets sorted out. So back to this match between Timeless Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Um, yeah, I mean Tony Storm. I'm assuming Tony Storm is going to win this. I mean, it would be now. The last time I was like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if they did a shocking thing and they made uh, Megan Bain if they put the title on Megan Bain. They didn't do that. And Megan, she's been on TV every now and then. Hasn't been on TV as much as the more recent signings of Kevin Knight and Speedball Mike Bailey, but and also Josh Alexander. But I'm really a big fan of Megan Bain. Hopefully, she's back on TV in a more consistent basis. I know she's been on Collision a few times, so I'm expecting Timeless Tony Storm to win. And Fernando said a little while ago, Timeless Tony wins and Mariah May makes a return. I don't know if that makes sense here. I would say it wouldn't make sense if it were for Tony, if she was coming back for Tony, because they did their match. They did the end. The Hollywood ending match. Yeah. So I wouldn't expect her to come back and then start feuding with Tony again. But Mina, being a new signing, that would be an interesting way to get Mariah May back because Mariah and Mina did have a match for the world championship. And that was, I believe, her first title defense. I believe that was her first title defense, Mariah's, when she won it. And just bringing, I would just love to see Mariah May back personally. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But of course, I'm picking Tony Storm to retain, Timeless Tony Storm, and we shall see. We shall see what happens. So that's the Women's World Championship. Now I want to talk about whom I just mentioned, new signing, Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kazuchika Okada for the AEW Continental Championship at Double or Nothing. These two have had like a really quick feud. It's been more like a mixture of Kevin Knight, Mike Bailey, Young Bucks, Okada. Like it's been like a mixture. Um, but I think it was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Kazuchika Okada faced Kevin Knight. Incredible match. And now he'll be facing Speedball, who is an absolute delight to watch. Absolute delight. And of course, I'm not expecting Speedball to win here. Would be quite an upset, shocking victory. It would be. Uh, shocking in the sense of, this would be like almost like a 1, 2, 3 kid Razor Ramon type of shocking victory. Um, and Speedball is just a ball of fire. He's incredible, really. I didn't really know much. I knew of him. I've seen very little, but he's been on TV consistently, as has Kevin Knight, and just an absolute joy to watch. Absolute joy. So, of course, having said that, I am picking Okada to win and retain the Continental Championship. Um, Fernando says Speedball wins. I, you know, I wouldn't hate it. Of course, I would not hate if Speedball won. I don't know if that's gonna happen right now. Of course, we have All In coming up. We have the international champion, Kenny Omega, looked like he's gonna be facing Okada at that show. I was wondering why I've been talking and my throat is so dry. I'm like, I haven't had water in a while. So I'm gonna do that. Have some water. Apologies. I know it's just me here, so you're just hearing me cough and choke on my own spit. So I expect, of course, Okada to win, and then All In will be Okada versus Omega. That seems to be what the trajectory is. Give me a second. Ah, much better. Much better. So the next match that I want to talk about is this is going to be a really fun one. Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia versus FTR, who have, of course, I love that little in the graphic that shot of Stokely Hathaway. um, this was a really interesting pairing, Stokely Hathaway with FTR, and they have been now feuding with Daniel Garcia for a couple weeks since that hellacious beatdown, and then Dax had the match with Daniel Garcia on Collision. Really, really great. Guys, if you're not watching Collision, I know it's been crappy in the past. It's really good. It's a really good show now. You got to start watching Collision again. It's just been excellent. It really has. Um, so Nigel McGuinness has now unretired again because he was saying, "Oh, I'm retired from competition. I'm just a commentator now." So he has been goaded into this match by FTR, and he will now be tag teaming with Daniel Garcia. So I this could really go either way, but I do expect FTR to win. I think FTR is going to be on a bit of a hot streak because I do expect them to be in the tag title picture very soon. Very soon. Maybe as soon as after Double or Nothing. So, yeah, I think this is gonna be really, really fun. Daniel Garcia already has history. Uh, FT Garcia. That's what I was calling them. I don't think anybody else was calling them that. But, well, yeah, right, Beth. It'll kinda like be like a handicap match because in some capacity, Stokely will get involved, and I don't know if he'll get thrown out. They don't usually do that in AEW. Uh, Otherwise, I mean, my god, the Death Riders, they would have been thrown out every match. But, Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens there. Good morning, Johnny. Nice to see you. I'm doing a solo show today. I've been doing a solo show. I covered Saturday Night's Main Event. So now I'm covering Double or Nothing. Good to see you. I'm picking FTR to win this. I expect FTR to be in the tag title picture very soon. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. So FTR, everybody, there is, yes, Fernando. Thank you for mentioning it. I slipped my mind. There's a possibility that Adam Copeland returns. Um, I don't know if that's gonna happen yet, but as JPJ and I have said, we do expect at some point this year, and now maybe that it's been announced. This was another story that happened a couple days ago. All Out is no longer in Chicago. September 20th, All Out is going to be in Toronto. Probably for a reason. Cope and Christian, FTR, AEW tag titles on the line. I think that's uh, JPJ and I have speculated on that. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Now, originally, we thought maybe it was going to happen at All In, but I think now what's going to happen at All In is FTR is going to win the tag titles from the Hurt Syndicate. Is MJF going to be involved in that? I don't know. We saw, of course. Well, I'll mention it. I'll mention that part when we get to the tag title match. Um, so we'll see here. I'm expecting FTR to win. So I'm not expecting Fernando. I'm not expecting Adam Copeland to return just yet because you can kind of see what's going on where Nick Wayne is in the best of Super Juniors right now, and Nick Nick and Christian have been kind of in a dissension period at the moment. Oh, Beth, it was great to see you. I hope we see you again next Thursday. Uh, it's nice to have you here. Thank you very much. Um, yeah, I'm expecting by All In, there's an implosion between the patriarchy, and for me, I would like to see Christian become the babyface out of that, and then that's where Cope comes in, and then we get the reforming of Cope and Christian, a former Edge, of course, Edge and Christian. It's just, it's going to be weird to say Cope and Christian instead of Edge and Christian after all this time. But yeah, so I'm expecting, yeah, FTR will win. They'll go on a little bit of a hot streak. They'll get the tag titles, and then in Toronto, All Out, FTR versus Cope and Christian for the AEW tag titles. Now, the next match that I want to talk about is Owen Hart Foundation Tournament Final for the women. TBS champion Mercedes Moné taking on Jamie Hayter. I have liked this feud between the two of them, this back and forth. They had a really good sit down promo last night on Dynamite. Ended in a brawl, of course. And they've been brawling a few times. Everybody thinks that Mercedes is winning this. And I do not. I believe JPJ also thinks that Jamie's gonna win, but I really, really think that this is the time for in AEW at least, Mercedes' first loss because she did already lose. Um, was it the Stardom title? I don't remember what title it was, but I'm assuming that because this is and Scott, yes, exactly. Because this is not a title match, I feel like this is the perfect time for Mercedes to get her first pinfall loss. I think this would be and to Jamie Hayter, who already has a storied history with Timeless Tony Storm. Also, as Scott said in the chat, Athena has been off of TV for a little bit, and I don't know if that's been by design or because unfortunately it's not in Tony Khan's plans, but to have Mercedes lose here, I think would be perfect because, like I said, Jamie and Tony have a storied history, and I think that, as Scott just said, Athena and Mercedes should happen at All In, 100%. It's in Athena's hometown, or home state at least, of Texas. I don't know if it's her hometown in Texas, but it would be a perfect, perfect match. Mercedes versus Athena. They had an incredible match in the at the start of this tournament for the Owen Hart Cup. And Jamie, I think, would be the winner for this. I think she would be the right winner. I do. I and everybody, listen, everybody's gotta throw out not everybody, but those simpletons on social media. Like, oh, Mercedes has creative control. No, she doesn't. Oh, Mercedes is gonna win everything. She's never gonna lose. She's gonna lose at some point. I'm hoping that it's here at Double or Nothing. Maybe it doesn't end up happening, but I feel JPJ said as well, and other people have said, because like I said, it's not everybody that's saying this. It's just those morons. I personally feel Jamie Hayter should win this match, and I think she will. I think she's going to. I think they're going to do the right thing here and have Jamie Hayter win because Mercedes doesn't need this right now. She's been a great TBS champion. She's got 2 other titles for other companies. Hey, real tight spot. Nice to see you. How are you doing today? Um, I just think that this is the time. This is definitely the time. I think Jamie is the perfect first person to be Mercedes' first loss in AEW, and Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm, Mercedes versus Athena at All In. That's, I think, the trajectory. I think that's what needs to happen. So we shall see on Sunday what happens. Uh, so I picked Jamie Hayter. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. Next match I want to talk about Mark Briscoe versus Ricochet in a stretcher match. Now this is gonna be a lot of fun. Ricochet has legitimately revitalized himself. in this company. I cannot say enough great things. He is incredibly entertaining. And you would think that, like, he would be, like, a top babyface anywhere, you know? But, WWE decided this was his this was the box that Ricochet was gonna be in. He was gonna be the good hand, get a title every now and then, and he left WWE, came to AEW, had some really good matches in the beginning. I was at the the first Will Ospreay Ricochet match at the 5-year anniversary show in Pittsburgh. Loved it so much. And after a couple months, they decided, hey, you know what? You're going to be a heel. And I had never seen him as a heel before. I, from the time of, I don't remember, chat remind me, was Prince Puma, was he a heel as Prince Puma in Lucha Underground? I don't believe he was. I didn't watch Lucha Underground, so that's why I have to ask everybody. Um, I don't believe he was. I think he maybe was a heel prior to that in New Japan. I think that's what I remember JPJ saying. Um, so I've never I at up until uh late last year, I had never seen this man as a heel. Had no idea if that was going to work. They were at the Hammerstein Ballroom. They were throwing toilet paper at this man. They were throwing toilet paper at this man. And that set the stage for legitimately one of the coolest heel turns and just badass, absolute badass shit from this guy. He can talk. The morons are still like, "Oh, he can't talk. Why does he have a mic? Blah blah blah. WWE, fuck off, fuck off." Okay, well, it's well past the 10-minute mark, so my first curse there at an hour and 18 minutes in almost. Fuck off. Okay, you're just sad that he's not in WWE anymore. And the funny thing is, and I haven't played this in a while. They're all like, "Oh, in WWE, they're all praising him," but then, of course, in AEW, they shit on everything. So, for anybody, and that's not just for Ricochet, but anybody that does that, you're
Fickle.
fickle. Thank you, Brian Danielson. You're fickle. Fickle as fuck. So, shut up. Ricochet is phenomenal. Absolutely. He's got wins over Will Ospreay, over Brody, over um over Swerve. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. Uh Real tight spot. I actually just talked about Okada versus Speedball right before you came in. It was like legitimately right before you came in. El Juggalo. Hello. Um Oh, you're not who I thought you were. Never mind. No, you wouldn't have been there. Well, welcome. Yeah, I sorry, Tight Spot. I literally just talked about it before you joined. Um, this This match and Mark Briscoe, of course, I can't say anything but wonderful things about Mark Briscoe. Anytime he's in a match, highly entertaining, great wrestler. Um, I'm expecting Ricochet to win here. This is, I believe, AEW's first stretcher match. I don't remember there ever being a stretcher match in AEW. I could be wrong. I remember that the Young Bucks and Jack Perry put Kenny Omega on a stretcher, but there's never been a stretcher match before. And yeah, there's the first. Okay, I figured. Thank you. Oh, hello, Tom. Thank you for being awesome, Tom. Thank you for being here. Um, I am excited for this match simply because Ricochet is great. Mark Briscoe is great. Ricochet, I'm picking to win. I you know what that I'm just seeing that little stretcher underneath Ricochet there. I like they did good graphics this time. um, they do good graphics generally. Oh, and there's a little stretcher under Mark Briscoe as well. I didn't really study the picture. I just uploaded it and then moved on. That's really cool. Um, so yeah, I'm picking Ricochet to win, and we shall see what happens on Sunday at Double or Nothing. What do you guys think? Do you think Ricochet or Mark Briscoe are going to win? Because this Ricochet's been on a streak of wins as of late, so I don't expect him to lose. But Mark has pulled off shocking victories before, so it is possible. Let me know, chat, what you think. Mark, who you got here, Mark or Ricochet? And I'm going to take another swig of water while I wait. Ah, man, that really helped. I don't know why I wasn't doing that from the beginning. Tight Spot says Ricochet. Scott says Ricochet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up being Ricochet. But again, Mark has pulled off shocking victories, so I could see a scenario here where Mark Briscoe just pulls off a shocking upset, and then that sends Ricochet into a tailspin, and scissors come out, and not the Anthony Bowen scissors, the golden scissors, and it's gonna be wild. So we'll see. But I'm thinking Ricochet is gonna win, like everybody else. The next match that I want to talk about, we've only got two more actually, and I'm saving what is gonna be the main event, as we found out last night, for the main event. So we're gonna talk about Anarchy in the Arena. Now, this is gonna be a very, very interesting match, and I'm sorry I'm blocking Willow, but Willow is behind my box. Um, Willow Nightingale, Powerhouse Hobbs. Wait, Kenny Omega's in this match? Did I pull right? I don't remember Kenny being advertised for this. I should be looking at these things before I download them. Um, oh no, Kenny was. I'm sorry. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Of course, Kenny was advertised for this match. He was in. I'm sorry. My brain is fried. My apologies. Yeah. So Willow Nightingale, Kenny Omega, Will Hobbs, Swerve, and Shibata and Samoa Joe are taking on the Death Rider Elite, and Marina is in this match as well. So this is gonna be the first ever, uh, women are gonna be involved in Anarchy in the Arena. Uh, of course, Marina Shafir, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Wheeler Yuta. Now, interestingly, Gabe Kidd is not advertised for the match. Gabe did uh pretty much reveal, and Jon Moxley, they've revealed he's kind of like working for the Death Riders right now. Very interesting. Did not expect that at all. But I'm a big fan of Gabe Kidd. So I I agree, Ty Spot. I agree with that. I do think that he will play a role in this somehow. Seen speculated, and Scott just said it right there. Um, there is potential. There is a potential that Gabe Kidd gets involved, and then we get a potential Eddie Kingston return. And my friend Kate at Fightful will lose her mind if that happens. uh, that that would be really cool because I miss Eddie Kingston very much, and that would be a really awesome moment for him to return. Maybe even with the gas can, like that other Anarchy in the arena match. Um, so we shall see. I am expecting the bad guys to win here, but because there's no titles on the line, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen there. Uh, there was a really fun, um, six-man tag. Yes, it was Kate's birthday. Happy 25th birthday, Kate. Uh, Kate's birthday last week. It was Denise Salcedo's birthday last week as well. Brian Danielson's birthday today. My birthday tomorrow. JPJ's birthday a couple weeks ago. A lot of May birthdays in wrestling. A lot of May birthdays. Um, Steven Jensen over at Fightful, I believe his birthday was yesterday or today. Yeah, there's just a lot of birthdays. Thank you, Touchbot. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Um, so I'm picking the Death Riders to win here. Maybe the baby faces end up winning. Um, and Jazarian as well. You're right. So we shall see. I could it could potentially be that the um it could potentially be that the baby faces end up winning here. I don't know. We're going to talk about, and actually, I just realized I did not upload, or maybe I didn't find the tag title match. I didn't find that, and I didn't upload it. So that's my fault. If it's out there, I don't know. I didn't. Double the thing. Yeah. So, but I know that they are going to be the Hurt Syndicate are going to be facing the Sons of Texas. But I didn't see an official graphic of that, so I did not upload that. Um, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Uh, yeah, this match, maybe the baby faces end up pulling. You know what? I'm gonna switch. I don't usually do this. I'm gonna say the baby faces win here. I think the baby faces win here. I think that. we'll see. This is a hard match to predict. I'm kinda like I'm undecided. I'm really undecided. I thought the heels were gonna win. I think maybe the baby faces will, but it's, I don't know. Gabe Kidd will probably get involved. Probably then Eddie Kingston gets involved, hopefully. I don't know what the status is on his injury. I know he's been healing up. He's been training again. He's got a hell of a beard if you've seen the pictures, but I don't know. I don't know if he ends up coming back here. I'm not gonna put that hope because eventually maybe he doesn't, and then I'm gonna be sad, and I don't want to be sad. So I'm just gonna say that I'm split. Chat, what do you think? Who's gonna win this match? Death Riders and the Young Bucks or the babyface team? Thank you for the birthday wishes, Johnny. um, no, thank you. I don't want to be sad either, tight spot. Uh, so yeah, I'm split. I don't know. I feel like the either team honestly could win, but I feel like it's I'm so here's my here's my thing. I feel like if the heels win, there's more of a potential that John Moxley loses at All In. If the baby faces win, I think there's more potential that Moxley loses. So and of course that could also not mean anything. That's just how I personally feel. So yeah, so that's that. Um, I could I upload this really quickly? Where's this from? This is a thumbnail from YouTube. Oh, because I've been putting them all up, so I kind of want to just do the right thing here. And of course, you can see this picture. This picture quality is not as good as the other pictures, because I got it from somewhere, and I don't remember where. It wasn't like any official AEW page, because AEW I hadn't seen at least where AEW put a graphic out for this, besides like them advertising it on TV. So let me really quickly and let me upload this really quick to StreamYard, and then I will talk about it. Because I didn't see it in StreamYard, I would have talked about it before this match, but I did because I wanted to do Anarchy in the Arena and Osprey and Hangman together, but I do want to talk about this match because it is important. So let's do a real quick upload, and then also Between Two Beards can use it tonight if they so choose when they preview everything. Um, Here we go. So let's talk about it now, and then we will talk about the main event. Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas, Sammy Guevara, and Dustin Rhodes. Now, last night, MJF officially joined the Hurt Syndicate. Congratulations, MJF. I think that we shall see. I mean, obviously, the Hurt Syndicate are going to win this match. It isn't really like I don't really care about this match personally, which sucks because I like everybody involved, but I need a team facing the Hurt Syndicate that I can go, "Okay, it'll go either way." And it's never been that with the Hurt Syndicate. It was never gonna be that with the Guns. It was never gonna be that with the Outrunners, and it's not gonna be that with the Sons of Texas. I'm sorry. As much um, as much as I like everybody, like I said, it's just and now we got MJF. So last night MJF joined the Hurt Syndicate, and that was a really great segment. I don't I envision that he will, of course, help in this match. Now, JPJ and I last week we had predicted that it seemed like the reasoning behind the lawyer thing with the contract was because there was going to be an extra little clause in there that MJF wasn't going to see when he signed it of like, oh, he's their like servant or something, or like their limo driver, or like he wasn't going to be one of the boys. He wasn't going to be like front and center with Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin. He was just going to be like way behind. He was going to be the one getting their drinks, the one driving their limo. He was going to be like the one that was like their servant, like I said. So, but they didn't do that. They did another little like Bobby teasing. Oh yeah, I'm gonna maybe not sign the contract, even though I gave a thumbs up. But then he ended up signing the contract. It was a little strange because they didn't put as much emphasis on that because literally as he signed the contract, Sons of Texas came out. So and then they just moved on. So I don't know if that's gonna come back at some point, if that's gonna be another story beat here. Um, MJF will likely help the Hurt Syndicate here retain against Dustin and Sammy, but what I do wanna see is some progression with these tag titles where there's, like, a legitimate team that faces them, where you go, "Oh, it could go either way." And unfortunately, it looks like that'll just be end up being the FTR match, and that'll end up being where they lose. So, this kinda, like, turned into another tag title run that wasn't what it could have been. And not that and that's in by no means an indictment on the Hurt Syndicate because they are great. I love the Hurt Syndicate. It's just that, this company doesn't book the tag division like it used to. There's some really good tag matches, but when it comes to the titles lately, like for a while now, it's just not been to the level that it once was, and it's unfortunate because there are tons, tons of excellent tag teams in AEW. So, I would assume once FTR win the tag titles, they're gonna kinda be treated more prestigious again. So, but we'll see. But I'm picking the Hurt Syndicate to win here. Um, MJF involvement. There was no Cedric Alexander appearance. Like we had talked about maybe, if they sign the contract, they do the contract signing, maybe it's revealed that the fourth member ends up being Cedric Alexander, who's a free agent now and can be signed anywhere. So we shall see. We shall see if that ends up happening. I don't know. I'm not like holding my breath. There was, of course, the the back and forth between Tony Khan and Cedric Alexander's wife, Big Swole, 5 years ago. But, it's been 5 years. Cooler heads may have prevailed. They may have come to an agreement. I don't know. But, we shall see if something comes of that. But as far as this match at Double or Nothing, I pick the Hurt Syndicate. Now let's talk about what we found out last night was now made the main event of Double or Nothing. Will Ospreay, Hangman Adam Page, Owen Hart Foundation tournament final for the men's side. This is the main event of the show. Very rarely is an Anarchy in the Arena, a specialty type match, Blood and Guts, a world title match. Rarely are these things not in the main event. So for this match to be in the main event is special. Um, I am very torn here on who's going to win. More torn than the Anarchy in the Arena match. But I kind of feel like it ties in with the Anarchy in the Arena match because, like I said, it may not mean anything, but if the babyface wins, the babyface team wins, I feel like there's more of a chance of Moxley retaining at All In. And if that happens, I feel more if the baby faces win in Anarchy in the Arena, then I think Will Ospreay wins the final here. If the heels win Anarchy in the Arena, I feel like Hangman might win. And because in my head, I'm going, if if my brain just shorted out, my apologies. If the baby faces win, Moxley wins it All In. And I feel like in this match here that we're talking about, I feel like there's more of a chance of Hangman winning the title at All In than there is of Will Ospreay. Call me crazy, but I just don't think Will gets the job done at the end. I feel like with the story that they've been telling with Hangman this year, really since the incredible match with Swerve, I feel like this is like a redemption story. And I mean, the promo. I haven't really gotten into the shows, but I have the promo that they cut last night. If you weren't interested in this match before then, this was. Let's get into the promo a little bit from last night. Um, they started the show. Tony Schiavone brought out Will Ospreay, then brought out Hangman Adam Page, and Ospreay said that he understands why the security were out there, but it was like, guys, there's not going to be any physicality. You can get paid. You can go to the back. Have a good night. I like that. Um, and so they leave, and Will asks Hangman if he still drinks, and he brought out beers for them to share. And Will says that he's out here to petition Tony Khan to make their match the main event, which ended up happening. Now, I don't know if that was like a shoot, like if he literally went out there and was like, "Hey, Tony, can," like if they hadn't talked about this before and Anarchy in the Arena was originally supposed to main event. I don't know if that's the case. Um, but Tony Khan made this the main event. This is the main event. So he says, that Hangman doesn't know what's at stake. Not only does the winner get to get the Owen Hart Memorial Cup and go to All In, this this is what we've needed for a little bit now. I'm really, really, really happy that they really brought this in here. Osprey says the winner has the responsibility to bring back the AEW World Championship. People aren't talking about the title as much lately, I've noticed. I don't know why. I don't know if that's by design. Because we haven't seen that, we've legitimately not seen the title since Wrestle Dream. That was in October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 7 months that title's been in the briefcase, apparently. I don't even know if the title really is in the briefcase, but it's been a long time. It's been a long time since we've seen that title. So it was really nice to see them tie it into this promo to sell the match. Will said that he wants this so bad because he thinks he's done the right way. He's done everything right or the right way since coming here. He talked, and by the way, I mean, God bless everyone who does this on a weekly basis for wrestlers and crew members, everybody. Um, all the traveling that you have to do as a wrestler, my hat's off to you because I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I mean, if I was getting paid for a company and I had to travel, I'm not really a plane person, but if I needed to get on a plane for my job, all right. I mean, it's my job. It's what I got to do. I got to fly to Phoenix, and I've got to fly to Toronto, and I've got to fly to London, and I've got to, you got to do what you got to do. That's what the job calls for. Um, So Will said in the promo last night that he flies sometimes 15 hours on a Tuesday to wherever AEW Dynamite is going to be that week. Flies from his hometown to wherever AEW Dynamite is going to be. And it's really, it's difficult. He gets jet lagged and stuff. But then they ring the bell and he puts on the best performance. He does his best. And he said that he wants to wear the belt with pride and show it around the world. And most importantly, he wants to bring it home because on August 24th, AEW will have Forbidden Door in London, in his hometown. And there are people who have supported him throughout his career that he wants them to see him with the title, as well as his 6-year-old at home. And he understands how much Hangman wants it, but Will just wants it a little bit more. So that's where Hangman comes in. And he says that the difference between the two of them is that Will wants it and wants it bad, but Hangman has lived it. And Hangman knows that there's no prize greater and no honor greater than being the AEW World Champion. But for Will, it's a professional accomplishment. It's personal for Hangman. He's wasted 2 years of his life in AEW since the last time he won the world championship, and it's been filled with nothing but sorrow and grief. And he hasn't won a tournament, he hasn't won a championship. One thing he did win was, of course, the match with Swerve, and it brought him nothing as a result of winning. And when he was home, he saw that his kids, his wife, were seeing a different side, an ugly side of him. He mentioned on Christmas morning, his son was opening up toys, and Hangman was just staring out the window, was not himself. He said his wife was feeling pity for him, and he didn't want that anymore. He wanted to be the man that she fell in love with. So he needs this. Will is just a professional accomplishment, but Hangman needs it because he needs to know that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel. And Osprey lets it sink in, and he asks, this was really good. He says to Hangman, "So what are you gonna do about it?" It was really good. Just like that little extra, prick on Hangman's side there. Um, he said, "Is he gonna wrap a chair around his head like he did to Swerve? Is he gonna retire him like he did to Christopher Daniels?" And Hangman he gets really upset when you mention Christopher Daniels. Um, and Osprey said, "As silly as it sounds, he's showing up on Sunday. He's gonna do his best, and sometimes that's not good enough. But when he's lost, it's been not because he's cheated or whined. If he lost leaving everything in the ring, and he lost with respect, and he lost with our trust." So Hangman asked Tim, now, is that enough for John Moxley and the Death Riders? Will says that he doesn't know what it takes. He's wrestled John twice and lost, but Hangman has done it. So he asks, show him, show Osprey, bring that fire, bring that animal, because he knows that if he beats Hangman, he can beat Moxley and bring back the AEW World Championship. And he said that Hangman's a pure-hearted guy. He's been a cowboy, but he's been distracted looking for Swerve, and Hangman has changed. Kids don't look up to him. This was like, ooh, oh, it was probably a little bit true because of the crazy Swerve feud. I don't know if it's 100% true. If it's like kids don't look up to him anymore. The boys in the back lost respect for him. And that woman, by the way, the woman who screamed in terror that night after that match between the two of them, and he started going back, and then he stopped because that woman just screamed that it was an incredible moment. So Osprey mentions that woman who screamed in terror when he nearly killed Swerve and wanted to go back for more. And he said he's going to do his best, but before you write off Osprey, Osprey has beaten Bryan Danielson, Kenny Omega, Kazuchika Okada because he's the best in the fucking world. He said the fucking world. They did the crowd sounding bleep that they do. Everyone went wild for it. He said that he wants to look Adam Page in his eyes and tell him that if he wins, if Hangman wins, he'll be happy for him. And if it is him that wins, if he needs a friend and someone to watch his back, he can count on Will Ospreay. Will says that if Hangman wins the match, if he loses this match, he will be at Hangman's side to defeat John Moxley and the Death Riders at All In. That was a really powerful moment. Really powerful. because not often do you see opponents talk like that, you know? Uh, and of course, everyone knows if you face the Death Riders, you need help because they always come, they always interfere, and that's how it works. So, um, so Will then also says that he hopes that if he wins, the favor will be returned, and Hangman will help him with the Death Riders at All In. This was an absolutely incredible promo, and like Johnny said, this is how you sell a pay-per-view. Really, this is how you sell this. It couldn't be better, honestly. Couldn't be better than this. Very, very good promo. Now, what happens in this match? I I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know. I I would be fine with either person winning, but for some reason, I feel like Hangman has a better shot. I feel like if Hangman wins this match, I feel like there's more of a chance of Moxley losing. I don't think Moxley loses if Will wins. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think so. There's a chance too that even if Hangman wins the match, he doesn't win at All In. But I don't want to see Moxley retain at All In. I'm having an existential crisis right now because while I've been enjoying as of late, like since the Swerve match, I think they've been doing a lot better with the Death Riders. And now the inclusion of Gabe Kidd as well. I mean, that's just great. That's a great fit. I don't know if I can handle Moxley winning it all in and waiting for Darby. I get that there's a story there. I get it. But I don't know if you need the title for that story, you know? Yes, it kind of started because Darby Allin put his title shot at Wrestle Dream up against Moxley. But I just don't want to see them wait that long. I already feel like it's too long. And yes, while they've been doing better with it, I don't wanna see Moxley retain it all, and I'm gonna be very upset. And yeah, it's gonna be my fault that I'm upset, but I think it's really an indictment on Tony Khan. As much as I mean, and I mean no ill will towards him. I think he's a phenomenal person. He's a great person. He's done his best with this company. A lot of stuff has been great. Some stuff has been a miss. A lot of stuff has been great. Collision is getting great again. He's booking that show really well. But to allow Darby Allin to go and climb Mount Everest and put the entire company in a holding pattern until he gets back putting John Moxley up against Swerve, Hangman or Will, the triple threat with Jay White and Hangman and Orange Cassidy. Singles match with Orange Cassidy. Adam Copeland. To do all of that and then Darby just swoops back in the title picture and wins the title after not being there for months. For months. He hasn't been on TV since December. December. 6 months ago. It just doesn't feel like a good decision. It doesn't feel like a good decision. I think it makes Tony Khan not look like a good booker. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would say this even if JPJ was here, and he'd probably call me negative, or maybe he'd agree with me. I don't know. But to have the company just spin its wheels for almost a year just because you want to put the title on Darby Allin, I think is legitimately crazy. Like insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know how you do that. And break a lot of the goodwill that a lot of fans have with this company and with Tony Khan as a booker to just completely have the men's main title picture spin its wheels just for Darby to come back without any just because of the Wrestle Dream thing last year, putting his title shot on the line. When there have been so many over baby faces trying to fight for the company, for the title and whatever, they've gone away from like the "this isn't your company anymore" type of a rhetoric with the Death Riders. But to have Darby just swoop back in after leaving television. Yes, they did put him out. The Death Riders put him out in December. It's not like he just left and not. But that's just legitimately crazy to me. I don't know what my reaction is gonna be if whoever wins this match, if they lose and John Moxley retains at All In, I don't know what my reaction is gonna be. I might scream. I might be apathetic. I might not watch AEW anymore. I don't know. I legitimately don't know what my reaction is gonna be. I might need to legitimately take a wrestling break if he wins it All In. I might have to do that. And I'm saying this, and I promise you, I'm in no way meaning that I dislike John Moxley, the Death Riders as a whole. Or not as a whole, but the individual people in the Death Riders. I don't dislike anybody, but I am very much against Darby Allin winning the title in this way. So yeah, it's I feel like it's promotional. It would be promotional malpractice to have Darby swoop in after all this time. To go and take on a personal goal, which is a great goal. Good for Darby that he climbed Mount Everest. He got to the top safely. It's a very big accomplishment. I don't take anything away from him. But to do that, to pick Everest over Tony Khan saying, I want you as my guy. And then for Tony to allow that and just put the company in a holding pattern for for months at the really anger of fans who have been tired of the Death Rider stuff and the title being in the briefcase and the constant interference in every match. To just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over and over just for Darby. And again, I love Darby, but what the fuck? What the fuck? That is insane. That is insane to see the reaction. This guy had a different entrance theme for Mina Shirakawa. Everybody hated it on Twitter. He changed it back at the end of the match. She won the match. He puts her old entrance theme back. This guy, this guy is gonna put the main title in this holding pattern for this long with the company in a holding pattern and it JPJ was out today, so solo show. Been solo. Uh to do that, to look at the fan reaction. Now 2 hours ago. 2 hours ago, I would have loved to co-host. I'm gonna be done in about 10 minutes. I can't make this go on any longer. I'm literally at the last thing that I'm talking about. Thank you, though. Thank you. Blood. I'm assuming that's bad blood that I'm talking to. 2 hours ago would have been great. I wanted to end the show. I wanted to do, like, an hour and a half. I'm already over 30 minutes over the time that I thought I was gonna be doing this. Um, but thank you, though, for the offer. Um, I'm picking in my heart, I'm picking Hangman Adam Page to win this because I want Hangman to go have the redemption arc, go to All In, have Will and Swerve help him, and Swerve and Hangman embrace, and there's forgiveness, and the company is back, and the title is shown again, and the Death Riders have been slain, and all good things. Like, I feel like that, for All In, that's like the biggest show of the year for them now. That's what really I feel like I need to see at All In. It can be Will also, but there's just something in me that says if Will wins this tournament final match, he doesn't win it All In. There's just something in me that says that. So I want Hangman to win because I feel like there's more of a chance of Moxley losing if Hangman wins. So I pick Hangman Adam Page. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our Double or Nothing and Saturday Night's Main Event preview for Love Wrestling, for Firmly Love Wrestling. And I think this show I did longer. I don't remember how long I did my first solo show, but I have fun doing this, because I did a solo show for a little while by myself. And I've been on other podcasts. I do the Roundtable Pro Wrestling podcast, and firmly with JPJ. I've done other shows in the past. Um, and once in a while, I feel like I want to do a something else. So sometimes I bring on a guest when JPJ is out, but sometimes I feel like what I want to tackle it myself. So that's what I did today. And JP usually when I get more notice is when I bring on a guest. Um, but JPJ told me Tuesday night that he was going to be out today. So um, I decided, I'm going to do another solo show number 2 in the books for me. I hope everybody enjoyed. I thank everyone for being here. Everyone, Scott, Bad Blood, Sandy, Johnny, Fernando, Maria, Beth, um, Mr. Spencer Love himself, Tight Spot. Thank you all for being here today. Uh, you can find me at the Drew Nicholas on Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm more active on Twitter than I am Blue Sky. Um, but I'm gonna try and be more active on there. I know I say that and then I don't, but I'll try. I promise. Okay. I can only give you my word that I will try. Um, thank you to everyone again. JPJ will be back with me next week. We will talk about the fallout of Saturday night's main event and Raw, as well as Double or Nothing and Dynamite, all the fallout from Double or Nothing. And thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes. Thank you very much, Scott. Until next time, everyone, I'm going to do the JPJ thing. We're out. I can't find. See, this is what happens. I clicked on the wrong thing. I was going to click. There we go. The video clips. It was going to happen. Goodbye, everybody.